Hello people, this is Ryder here to review the Kamen Rider Gaim DX Suika Lockseed. So this is Gaim's last standard Lockseed, but it's also a caveat to the big toy of the year. As obviously, as you can see right here, Suika Arms is a mech suit. And luckily, they didn't force you to buy Suika Arms to get this Lockseed, because that definitely would have been a thing they would have done now, but luckily this is an individual release. But honestly, I actually wouldn't mind actually owning Suika Arms. Anyways, as you can see right here, I like the color scheme of this one. It's mostly green, but there's also a splash of red. So I just really like the watermelon colors and such. And like, this one actually distinctively is the first to say this is a CGI model, because obviously Suika Arms doesn't have a full-on practical suit. So there is Suika Lockseed, like so. There's another model right there. And basically here they just have like the actual Suika Arms toy. And, you know, again, just the only two models and such. So, yeah. So here we are with inconsistent framing. So, here we have the Suika Lockseed and such, to which, show-wise, this is technically more... I like the... Oh, we'll get to it, but, like, obviously show-wise, this was first from Udrazel, but then Michi found a way of getting his hands on it and such. And, like, I really like the watermelon overall. It's so pleasant. That's all I can say. I like the metallic green that's like at the front, and then this one is LS10 and such. We have the red plastic, translucent plastic. The back obviously is still standard trans stamp. Obviously this is silver and such. On and off switch down here. Obviously red translucent button, and the switch is actually new, and this is actually, out of this entire lineup, is the only unique one, because this one is just like a simple like light switch and such. So you just simply press it, in and it locks. So it's basically like Budo, but like it's a more like actual, it's an actual like just switch such. And then opening it up like so. Again, we got the watermelon. Again, it's just, I like the watermelon slices. This is honestly like my favorite aspect. Just seeing the fruit inside. And then here we have the arms weapon for the Suika Arms. This one's the only one I can't really pronounce. The Suika Torrento? I'm going off of memory. I never read what the name was supposed to be, but it's like a giant staff. It's really cool. And such. And like, look at the watermelon seeds and such. And turn it on. Takes a while just because of my batteries. So as you can hear from there, so because it is because it's a melon, it actually carries over a specific sound from melon, which I think is really cool that the melons have their own sound, because like that's actually cool. But anyways, this one actually doesn't have Invest game sounds. We actually just have sounds corresponding to it when it's in Suika Arms. So, okay. So that's all we have. So basically, the first mode, I think, is just the mech mode itself. Obviously, gyro mode is just that weird, like, half hybrid version that allows Gaim to fly, or like any user to fly through. And then the old Dama mode is like basically the arms mode, when it's just a watermelon that allows you to roll over enemies and such. Activation. Sengoku driver. Obviously, we'll use Gaim because he was the first to use this. So if I can actually stand it. This never wants to focus. And then we have the transformation of Gaim Suika arms, which obviously just talks about how it's a big watermelon. And we have bowling sounds. Obviously, we still have our standard Scotch Oi and sparking sounds. I also forgot to bring. I don't put it on the floor. I forgot to bring this out. Obviously, with this, it actually allows you to make the full Lockseed holder for Gaim and such. Though, like what I said before, most of the time, Suika's absent. Just because, obviously, later in the show, Kota ends up giving it to Kaito, and then Kaito basically ends up being the main holder for Suika, despite only using it once. So we will do just sword mode, and basically with Budo and Suika, the way their buttons work, it's to the point you don't actually need to press it all the way to unlock it, which is kind of convenient, but at the same time, it's just like, keep that in mind. So this thing's a staff, we might as well commit to it. Yeah, Suika power! And then, gotta disengage all this. Why are you not disengaged? Yeah, overall, my thoughts on the Suika Lockseed. I like how it's still pretty, like, standard for the most part. I just like the only unique thing about it is just that you just get those sounds and such, which, you know, helps it stand out and such. And again, like what I said before, I like how they didn't force you to buy the Suika arms to get this Lockseed, because they definitely would have done that in today's state of things. And also just because, like, the previous year with the Wizard Dragon, they made you get that thing for the Dragon Rise Wizard Ring. So it's really cool that this is an individual release. So I feel like that's kind of really the only, like, big highlight I can give this thing. Because other than that, it's just a standard retail Lockseed, which is not bad, because I like it, obviously. And, of course, you can now complete your Lockseed holder, because, you know, you can actually fill out... You can fill out this slot now. But other than that, I think I got this for the same price as Mango and... For Mango, like 800 to like 1,000. Like this one, I think this one though I got for like 1,000. So I got this for like $10, which I think is pretty good. But other than that, you know, again, if you really like the melon Lockseeds, or if you just really like watermelon, or Suika as a whole, or you just collect all of Gaim's Lockseeds, I do recommend getting this overall and such. So that'll have to do with this review. This is Ryder, and I'll leave people.